I was listening to the Little Mermaid songs, then re-watched the movie and stage adaptation to figure out what the themes are. The story covers the themes of love and freedom. As well as that, all the characters have a strongly held fantasy of what they believe in. In the opening song, the sailors sing their tall tales about King Triton and the merfolk. If the ocean waves are rough, then it's an indication of Triton's anger. Grimsby just passes them off as mere superstitions. Moving on to Ariel, she collects human stuff, even though she doesn't know what it's used for. She's never even met a human before, but she still thinks they are interesting enough to the extent of wanting to leave her home. When she goes to find out what her stuff is, Scuttles gives her fake descriptions of each item, and they seem reasonable enough to be true. Later on, Flounder lets slip that they were at the surface, and King Triton gets angry. He makes the assumption that all people are fish-eating barbarians. He only describes them in this monstrous way because he wants to protect Ariel. During Ariel's I Want song, we see how she doesn't take his warning to heart. In the beginning of the song, Ariel tells us about her amazing collection and that she wants even more. The bridge of the song then goes into the core of what she actually wants: freedom from her overbearing father. This is why she admires the humans. Ariel wants to break away from her father's strict rules and make choices for herself. She believes that the humans must not face such struggles. The thing is that Eric faces similar expectations like Ariel. Grimsby has been setting him up with princesses. He hopes that Eric will find a bride and settle down as king. But Eric will only do so once he finds the perfect girl. When Eric is saved during the shipwreck, he hears his savior singing to him without even knowing who she was. He falls in love with the fantasy of a girl with that beautiful voice. Ariel falls in love with Eric too, and redefines what she wants. Instead of just joining the human world, she now wants to become a part of Eric's world. She knows exactly what she wants, so instead of refusing the call herself, the other characters do so for her. King Triton has already forbidden her from going to the surface. Sebastian also attempts to reel in her dreams. He plays his hot crustacean band to show her that life under the sea is far more interesting than life on land. King Triton eventually finds out about Ariel's grotto. He believes he knows best for his daughter, and his way to show he cares is to destroy the things she loves. Flotsam and Jetsam swoop in at the opportunity and takes her to Ursula. Like any good villain, Ursula is able to challenge the themes of the story. In this case, she is able to twist the perception of how people see her. The undersea world believes her to be an evil witch, but she portrays herself as an upstanding businesswoman. Ursula is then able to persuade Ariel to trade away her voice to become human for 3 days. She gives the impression that humans don't like conversation. This is awful advice in an attempt to make Ariel waste her 3 days. Ariel is able to stay human permanently though. She just needs Eric to give her a true love's kiss before the 3rd sunset. If she fails though, her soul belongs to Ursula. It is ultimately Ariel making the choice herself, even though Ursula made it sound like it was a one-time deal. On the beach, Sebastian thinks it's not too late to reverse the contract. However, he looks past his beliefs and sees that Ariel was miserable in her current life. He then joins in on her mission to get Eric to fall in love with her. Ariel falls into Eric's arms, and through sympathy and sheer luck, he brings her to the castle. She misuses the fork at dinner, which gets her a weird look. At least Eric found her blowing into the pipe amusing. The next day, they tour the kingdom. Eric takes her on a cart ride, they dance in the town, and they finish the day rowing in the lagoon. Later that night, Eric is pining over the shore, playing Ariel's melody. Grimsby sees how hopeless he is, and points out that his dream girl is just a fantasy. while Ariel has shown to care for him. Ariel wakes up the next morning to the news of Prince Eric proposing. She very quickly finds out it's not her, and that he will be married that very same night. Eric was enchanted by Ursula, which seems forced for plot convenience. He was madly searching for the mysterious maiden before he was about to settle for Ariel. With Ariel now facing her darkest hour, she doesn't come to a realization about what she needs. She learns that Eric is going to marry Ursula, so she stops being sad and finds the determination to stop the wedding. Ariel is too late, and the final sun sets. Triton trades places with her to give her back her freedom. Then a fight breaks out, ending with Eric piercing a ship into Ursula. Triton and Sebastian acknowledge how much Ariel has grown. She still wants to be with Eric, so Triton transforms her into a human, and they live happily ever after. On stage, they are able to expand upon the story with what the movie has already written. A minor change I want to highlight is that they removed the clause specifying that the kiss needs to be true love. It's not really a big deal, because now it can just be a standard kiss. The next important change is Eric teaches Ariel how to dance. Because she can't talk, he shows her how to express her emotions through movement. By the second sunset, we get a different take on the darkest hour. 4 of the characters sing the song about how if only things were different. This is Ariel's lowest moment, in the sense that she is running out of time and is doubting the possibility of being kissed. It's into what I think is the best change, the singing competition. To find the mysterious girl, princesses from across the land have come to display their singing prowess, with the winner becoming queen. Eric, however, doesn't care about their talent. He is specifically listening for that one voice. Ariel joins the competition, but because she can't sing, she dances instead. It strikes a chord with Eric, because he finally realizes how blind he was to Ariel. He chooses Ariel as the winner. It's amazing that even when the mysterious voice is being projected, he says the competition is over because he has chosen Ariel. And even though it no longer needs to be true love's kiss, I think this kind of action would definitely count as true love. This is a great conclusion to Eric's character arc. He rejects the fantasy and chooses reality. He makes this choice himself, instead of Grimsby suggesting it to him. Ariel's realization fits this too. She wanted to be part of the human world, but that was built upon a fantasy. She didn't even know what her human collectibles were. She just thought they were interesting from Scuttle's fake descriptions. Like during the dinner scene, she finds out that her knowledge of human stuff is wrong. She can't impress Eric with brushing her hair with a fork. So at the singing competition, Ariel surrenders her dignity and dances. She knew what she had to do to get Eric to understand how she feels, and she figured this out on her own. Ursula had suggested using body language, and Sebastian was offering advice like fluttering eyelashes. The conflict with Ursula is resolved differently, but it doesn't really affect the themes. The ending is the same though. Triton comes to the realization that his daughter needs to be free to make her own choices. She has demonstrated that she is capable of looking after herself. She is no longer that little girl that Triton thought she was.